So, hey guys, I'm Chris from The Collective, and we are starting a new series that is going to be army overviews, and today we start with Luke and his blood angles.
Hello. Alright, okay, so where do we start here? Okay, so this isn't actually Blender's army, it's a successor chapter known as the Blood Drinkers. And so let's start with HQ choices, and here we have Jurez. He is actually my first HQ choice I ever got. I initially got him from Wales, funny enough. He has actually fought in my battles many times, especially with Brandon here.
Yeah, my turns, because, I mean, Luke and me are probably the longest players, since we started in, when we first started secondary school, so we were like 11,
yeah,
I would
roughly
say. And, of course, we started playing Warhammer, and this was Luke's first HQ choice, as you want to put it. You know, everybody kind of buys, like, hey, squad of tactical marines, and what's next? We need a leader, captain, because, you know, you want to kind of make your own guy.
I think it's a very important part of the game, like putting your own heart and soul into an actual character of your own creation. It's a huge part of everything.
It's deep. It gets you right in the feels, as people say.
Because I think there's more to the game than just already named characters. You can put your own input to the game, and that makes it so much more alive.
Which is why the Tyranids on one side are really bad for that kind of thing, because it's like you can't really name a Tyranid. Because it's like, this is Termagant 1. But, on the other hand, you could make it so that the Blood Angels that fight them are like, that's that same Hive Tyrant. Like, it gets pretty cool, but we'll get into that on my video. But the main thing about Jurez is he has fought Tyranids for a long time. That's what we're getting at. He's kind of like a tyrannical veteran that's not from the Ultramarines.
I like to say he is pretty much just obsessed. Not 100% right in the head, he's just like, kind of obsessed with trying to work out how the hive mind works and how he can try and stop them, but later in life he's not so successful. In fact, his fate is actually because he pretty much just goes mental and just charges into the middle of the battlefield and tries to go in combat with a warrior prime, if I remember.
It's a Tyranid prime. What happens is, we like to base our lore off of things that happen when we actually played the game. And a very long time ago, we went to Warhammer World, like as you've seen in our previous videos. They had this board that they didn't have there currently because they're doing the makeover, which is going to be really cool because they'll have probably, I'll assume, more boards. And they'll bring that board back. And the board is, we've worked out it's like a hive world. It's got lots of buildings and it's very enclosed, except there's one big bit down the middle. And it opens up with a gate and it leads to like a big monastery. And one battle I was having with Luke, he fielded Jurez a very long time ago. If I can find the pictures, we'll probably post it somewhere for you to see, because it's pretty cool. I think the video might still be on YouTube somewhere. I'll have to find it. Yeah. But basically, what happens is, Jurez is killed by this Tyranid Prime that is quite funny in the battle. He jumps out from the buildings. We'd like to imagine he decapitated him, because at the time the warrior prime had his arms stuck on front, so he was like outwards.
Yeah. I just like love that model, and just the way he was posed, just the right time. I was like, hold on, I think I know exactly how he was killed. And I wrote in my free time a bit of lore based on the battle, which he had. And like I said, there was like multiple accounts of this battle, and then it ended upon his death, and then Alexander, which I'll get onto later, actually takes leadership of the entire army and tells everybody to flee and save, and he saved many people's lives from simply deciding to back down.
I think we should go on to this guy next, the blue guy. I don't know.
Right. Well, to be honest, I've not really written any lore on him. He's not really been in many battles. He's just a librarian. But admittedly, I am proud of what I've done to him, because if you look at him, you know he's Blood Angel. You just know he is. Like,
you've done a lot of kit bashing.
Kit bashing.
People would put it.
I love kit bashing.
You just so
good.
That's why there's a bit of weird number of Marines, if I'm correct, because it's like you had a ton of tacticals when you realised Blood Angels aren't about that. Look at all these goddamn assault Marines.
Yeah, this is like a lot in this army is basically all done in trial and error, since it was my first proper independent army which I first conjured up.
When you play the game for the first time, you don't really think about what's meta or what. You just go with what you like.
Yeah, I just went with tacticals. I bought a whole battle force and etc. But yeah, so let's see what next we should get on to. Okay, let's get on to
Terminator guy.
Raphael. He was just gonna. I said he was like another member of a leader of a different company. I never actually designed any lore for him, but in truth, I just wanted a cool looking Terminator captain with a cape, which I took from the Chaos Lord set. and just see what it'd be like to, you know, just feel the Terminator captain. It's just
That's
great.
some kit bashing at its best.
Yeah.
Like, I like that kit personally.
Yeah, it's nice.
Is this your last HQ?
Oh,
your most favorite
model I've ever.
You kind of just
painted.
combined all the pieces, didn't you?
This is an expensive creation of mine.
It's one of those ones that's like, it's worth it.
I spent hours on this guy.
You can see the detail on the sword he's put on with the power weapon. As you can see, it's got that green glow thing going on that the power weapons have. Also, like how many kits do you think you've had to buy
So let
just
me
to make
see.
one?
Right, for his shoulders, that would have been either both the Sanguinary Guard set and the Death Company set. The Captain himself, of course. And just a few pieces from other sets, like the Gene Stealer skull. That's from the Gene Stealer set, of course.
So that's like at least 4 different sets,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I do like that helmet. That's gonna be one of my favorite Space Marine
That is
helmets.
actually my favorite.
It just looks like a knight, which kind of fits the theme here because he's got the sword.
I like
to
it.
imagine.
You know how some characters have like a nickname. For instance, Tiberius is also known as the Red Wake.
Redwake, yeah.
I like to call him the Blood Knight.
The Blood Knight.
I just like to call him that.
the Blood Knight of the Imperium of Man.
I just like, I just love that guy so much. Like even
41st Millennium.
I mean, sure. Close combat is no longer meta for 6th or 7th, but I field combat anyway.
Since the rules kind of went in the favor of shooty armors,
I'm
like
just,
Eldar and
I'm
Tau.
just a true Blangel at heart. I really am. Love the combat.
The Whispers of Taudar.
No, please no.
What is on the Voxcasters? Taudar, I think it said.
We'll have to get to that.
What are these guys? These are honor guards? These,
Right, so,
particularly these 4, because
this guy over here, he's a Sanguinary Notivate. Well, at least with his class does. But when he's on his own, he's a priest. So I don't know why, but I think there's actual more reasons in here. I've not really looked upon that yet.
that's this guy, right?
Yeah, so really he's classed as a Sanguinary Notivate.
Yeah. So.
But most times I field him as a priest. And the cool thing is, I found out online that Blood Drinkers have their own unique colour scheme for their priests. As you can see, split down the middle, one colour on one side and white on the other.
It's really good because to me they all look the same. So it's like, which guy do I really need to shoot first? It's the guy with the white. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
It also looks cool.
Yeah.
I like this guy, if I had to say.
Right.
He's got the shield.
He's a blood champion, or just from many Space Marines, they just have champions, but we like to slap the word blood on things.
And space, apparently.
Space.
He's also got what's her name? Death Watch shoulder pads.
Yeah, I just tried, since I love the Death Watch as well, I don't actually own an army of Death Watch, but I just like their lore.
Yet again, more kit bashing.
I like kit bashing.
Luke, the master of kit bash.
It really does make your army look more special when you do that.
Now here's a good looking model. This.
Oh, yeah.
Green.
More
That's
kit-
a sanguinary guard thing.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Yeah.
And well,
The jump pack
What is
is
he?
also he's just an honor guard with a standard. He's a standard bearer.
what does it even do?
I believe anybody within 12 inches gets an extra attack. So I'd consider that pretty good if you're all about attacks.
He's got a gun on the
Oh
side.
yeah, well I don't actually count that, but that's the only way it would go on. I think.
It's a nice little gun.
Yeah, the.
I question how the
Swallow.
Sanguinary Guard would shoot anyway, and then we got this guy. He's another one of those priest things.
Yeah, he was the first one I got.
Was he actually an apothecary by default?
Yeah.
And then
Apothecaries, in case you didn't know, are the same thing as Sanguinary Priests. We have our own unique traits to them. Like, for instance, they give off Furious Charge, along with the Feel No Pain. So that's all good.
That's right, let's go over the tacticals. We've got them.
Right.
Those are all tacticals.
See, tacticals are a bit of a mishmash right now, because I converted most of them into these tactical marines you see right here. But if what I have left, we have my first ever Space Marine. What happened was, I brought in a ton of cookies one day or whatever, and Chris was just I think he was giving out Marines and stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, I had a load when I decided that I was no longer doing Space Marines.
So when you went to collect orcs.
Yeah.
And
That's
We did a deal, basically. Here, have a cookie. Here, have a Marine.
And hence the name Cookie Marine.
Yeah, it's just. But I couldn't fit both words, so I just put cookie.
We should go over all the name characters.
Didn't we decide that his Latin name was Gobo or something
Yeah,
like
eventually
that?
I have to change that.
The
yeah.
Latin word for cookie, apparently.
Is Gobo.
Oh, you got this guy, Vince.
Yeah, I didn't know.
He's part Dark. I remember this guy's story. See this shoulder pad? Now, for those that don't know, I used to collect the Dark Angels. He's got a Dark Angels jetpack and a Dark Angels shoulder pad. And I believe this guy is said to be from the Dark Angels.
Yeah, something like that. But
He's
I
kinda
don't think
like
that's
the one-
right, though. I don't know. I'm not
He's
sure if
kinda-
it works lore-wise.
He's
but-
kind of like one of the survivors of the army that
Yeah.
I had. Like, because what happened to that Dark Angels army? It went from being mine, nice Dark Angels, got like some veterans. Then I gave them to my friend Mason, who then turned them into his own Space Marine army, because he's one of the cool looking guys. And then he turned them into Chaos Marines, which are like the Death Shadows.
Yeah, that's right.
Which have that. I found out a funny thing about that. All those Marines are dead.
Yeah.
In the new Tuna Codex, it just says that Leviathan eats them all.
Oh.
It's really funny because it's like they go to launch a surprise attack on Ultramar, but then they get killed by the Tyranids.
Some more.
They're like on a nearby world and they die.
Uh,
So no, this happens to be my favorite technical.
oh yeah, macho man.
There's actually a very funny story behind the reason he's even got a plasma gun. If you want to tell that one, Luke.
Well, basically, Brennan went ahead online to the Games Workshop store and he bought 5 plasma guns for his Dark Angels, but then he eventually sold them, so he was like, oh, what's the purpose of me having these anymore?
I was like, Luke,
And
you
then
have Space
I
Marines.
was actually constructing the battle force at the time, and I had not given everybody weapons yet. And at the time, I didn't know this, but I gave like a whole squad of them 5, like just
Plasma
five
gun.
flipping plasma guns.
And this is the guy I made, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I was like, I'll
you put
pose it
together,
for you.
and by God, does he look buff?
He's just like he's like he works out a lot.
He's just well macho.
He's
He's like, "Whoa."
He's just like, oh, I have a plasma gun. I'd imagine if it gets hot, he just wouldn't care. He just blasts him in the face, so I don't care.
Unlike my wolves.
Unlike your Space Wolves, if you haven't seen that, go watch the video.
Oh
It's our only
God.
other video, you can't miss it.
Let's not put it
So
back.
far.
Well,
Oops.
we have the other one, the intro video.
The intro. But the one with actual models in.
Put Vince
That's the
back.
only Right, who's this guy?
Right, he's one of the original 5 Marines I got.
Oh
altogether.
yes, the original
It
5.
was actually I got all these Marines from Mason as well. That he just gave me them whilst I was
Mason
on this
just
trip.
gives people stuff. It
He's
doesn't make...
just, yeah. But yeah, he's one of the original guys. He's also a mixture of a few Dark Angel pieces. If you look closely, and if you can actually tell from the thick layer of paint they did on them, because these are not a very good job.
Also the shoulder pad.
yeah, that's what I mean.
painted over.
Yeah, you can actually tell there's a sword on there, and Dark Angels have swords on them.
Who's this last guy? Andy.
He is actually part of the Assault on Black Reach. He's one of the
Oh
only,
yeah,
he's one
hence
of
the arrow shoulder pad.
He's one of the only survivors of this kit, which our school club had, and I decided to take him in. Otherwise, somebody else would steal him. And I was like, wait a minute. Did
There
I?
are none left. Like
There
I
are
think
left.
this guy's the Cookie Marine is also from it as well.
Yeah, but Kriss gave me.
Yeah, he was from my Assault on Black Reach kit.
Oh wait, yeah. Everything from Assault on Back Reach.
Yeah.
Assault on Black Reach was the set at the time when we began.
Let's go over the.
I figured it all wrong. But okay, Assault Marines. I love these guys so much. They may not work out for their points worth.
It's the big
but
bulk
who
of
cares?
yellow-headed people.
Yeah, like who cares if they don't really make their points? I use them anyway, and I love Thunderhammers as well.
I've noticed you've gone to work with the blood for the blood god that I borrowed.
Oh yeah, I love that paint stuff. Like
You'll see
it's
on this one, he's kind of got it on the face of the model.
It's unlikely, but if Games Workshop, if you're watching this, thank you so much for that goddamn paint. I love that stuff. I've used it on my vampire accounts more recently as well. I've gone ape shit
Can't
with
really
it.
see it.
Can you not see it?
No, you can't really see the detail of it.
Oh well, no.
But you know, but it's there. It's there. Just
Right.
trust us.
There'll probably be a photo at some point.
Yeah, we can take photographs.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Just
If we do that for the Tyranids, it's going to take a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
On a side note, don't forget to go onto Tumblr and look at our Tumblr page because that's where we're
Yeah.
going to be uploading the
Yeah.
photos.
Upload
And
photos.
we've also got a Facebook page, The Collective, I believe it's called.
You're the one in charge of that, Chris.
Yeah, I'm in
I got
charge of this stuff.
I got another Thunderhammer guy. He like points and also holds a Thunderhammer
like-
just like in one hand. It's actually a Terminator arm, but it's hard to tell. Like you wouldn't know unless I just told somebody.
Like now.
Like now.
Exactly.
The whole
yeah.
world knows.
Oh no.
It actually doesn't look bad.
Your secret
doesn't-
is
He just
out.
like it looks like he just has a really big arm.
Yeah, that's all it is. see that.
It's kind of obscured by the little wiring. Got that guy at the back.
Oh yeah.
I like that guy. He's got the one.
Well, I can't forget Calistarius. I tried to make him look very bloody. And
He's got the.
He's got the. You can sort of see
hazard
that one.
lines.
The hazard lines were essential, and then I put the blood on it because like if it was black or if the chainsaw was red, you couldn't see the blood very well. But since it was hazard lines, I was like, I might as well go crazy with this. And I like this guy a lot. He's my favourite one of my submarines I've got. And there's nobody else like with an actual named character. I mean, these guys have got quite a bit of kit bashing done on them, or just tried to make do with some pieces. There's even a few guys which I've had to actually use a Chaos Space Marine bolter.
That's supposed to go there.
Ah, right, that makes more sense.
Oh, maybe we should go on to the Devastators.
Yeah, okay.
Then we've kind of almost done that road, so we'll move on to Death Company.
Okay, so... Okay, the Devastators, they just got,
It's nothing really interesting compared. Like, there isn't many named people in this Devastator squad.
well, there's only...
The only thing I ever remember about that Devastator squad is that I killed them with the lictors.
Oh, well, that's not nice.
That's the only thing I remember them for.
Devastators are the ones next to the Death Company.
Yeah.
These guys right here.
The ones with the big weapons, for
Yeah.
those that don't know.
But yeah, I've got one of every type of heavy weapon in there, besides the rocket launcher.
Should we show them what happened to the Alaskan guy?
Oh, go on then.
There's a funny story behind this. It's not like Warhammer's great, because there's just dumb stories behind, like, even the most boring of model. Like, it's just Alaskan guy. But if you could see, this guy's just looking into the Alaskan.
It's just like this
Yeah.
interesting bolter or whatever. Like,
See, Luke, tell us about that, because I was there, but it was more about what Mason. Yet again, Mason, this elusive guy.
I wasn't watching him. I had my back turned to him, and I was just like, we were all building my battle force because it was quite a lot of work to do.
Models.
A lot of models. Unless Brennan initially painted.
I
this
painted
one.
that, but then the red was weird, so we.
Yeah, so I resprayed it with my Mephiston red. But anyway, so yeah, I allowed Mason to build my Devastators for me. And for that reason, I'm not sure if I'll let him do it again. Because, like we showed you, his face is flipping shoved into the gun.
It's silly.
But yeah, no offense to him, but honestly...
Just some of the things you do when you're like really young, and you look back and you're like, that's a terrible paint job. You'll see on my Tyranids, it's like, that's the first Termagants I had, compared to this one that I painted so well. I was like, if I'm gonna paint this many Termagants, I had like 30 something to paint. Like, if I'm painting this last one, I'm painting this to the best possible standard ever. It's just like so much better. You should do like a lineup of all the Termagants.
Then and now.
Then and now, yeah.
I was gonna say, if you mean once every one, you might be there for a century, just counting every one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do up all the points. I haven't done it yet.
I've not even done mine yet.
So, let's go with these guys. Oh, this guy.
Oh yeah, Skeletor. I named it Skeletor after the main villain from He-Man.
He's a reclusiarch, isn't he? Or a chaplain.
Oh, chaplain, one or the other. I filled him in, like, if I've got the points, whatever.
What does he actually do?
Right, he is essential to take. Like, anybody who plays Blue Angels, really consider taking him. Because if you put him in a squad of Death Company, not only can you reroll hits, but you can also reroll wounds. And these guys do, like, shit tons of damage anyway. But with him there, you'll just flipping knock everything down. Like a ton of flipping, like just Jenga blocks.
Like a house of cards coming down.
Yeah, it's like him himself doesn't do much, but it's that buff which makes him special. And
he's just a support.
Yeah.
A bit like the Venom Pro. Doesn't really do much.
So basically, if you do have him, just put him at the back. Make sure he doesn't die.
He's the last one to die.
And I've got a mixture of a few weapons in here.
Where's my favourite guy? One with the Maximus helmet. I think he's this one here.
No, it's this guy. No,
Or is it that?
Or is he? Yeah? No? Maybe?
You changed them round. I think it's this guy, possibly.
I'll have a look. I don't know. I modified all of them because
Yeah, there used to be a guy with a Maximus helmet.
I used to field them with jump packs, and the reason why I don't anymore is because it's way too pricey. I think you're better off getting one of these back here. Just put a bunch of these guys inside the Storm Raven, and then tag this on the back as well, and then like the Dreadnought. And
I got this guy that I
oh my
thought
god,
was
it's just a flipping. It's just.
He's kind of got that come at me bro going on.
Yeah, I tried to make him look really fierce because any of those who should know the lore, but provided you don't, I'll just tell you that they're just flipping crazy. They got the black rage and they're not quite right in their head. And of course, Smiler. I named him after my friend whilst I was making these guys. It's just go have a massive thunder hammer. I've got 3 guys in my hand with flipping thunder hammers.
Because why not?
Oh, why not?
It's not
Yeah.
as bad as that Captain idea I had. The one with the 2.
Oh yeah, I like how that's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do the Dreadnought.
Dreadnought. Mother of God is.
That thing is a rape train.
It's like it's not overpowered, but it's just like
It's the fact that it generates extra attacks. It's like if the Haruspecs did that, it would be just as good.
yeah, it's like
Because the Haruspecs, if for those that don't know, goes in and if it close combat attacks make a wound on the enemy, those attacks generate extra attacks, but not those extra attacks can't do the same. But if you're that Dreadnought right there, you can.
Yeah,
That's his thing.
He just
you can keep going and going and going.
So let's
It's like go into a squad of 30 termagants, they're all dead.
bear in mind these are power weapons as well, so it's not too hard to wound things.
Plus that makes them like AP3. So termagants don't even get an armor save. Like you could easily shred a squad of 30.
It's
I
like-
mean, what's the initiative of that thing? That's
4, I think, possibly 5. It's most likely 4 because most Space Marines are 4. Captain,
it's 4, yeah.
It's only
So
captain.
it goes. They'll go at the same time, but I don't think the termagants could even do anything.
They can't scratch them.
It's like
Yeah, that noise.
except with more alien goggles, like.
Let's get to the other Dreadnought. He's one of my first ones. I actually got him from Stignes.
He's only done one good thing ever.
Is that?
One
Yeah, it's only
thing.
more recently than from the
In the
actual
battle.
previous game we had. He's never done anything right in his entire life of being a Dreadnought anyway. But it's like, but up to that point, he's like taking down that one guy in that one game, just to get the kill point which I needed.
So if you check out the other battle report,
You'll
for
see what he does.
the battle royale that we had, you will see how annoying and pride hurting
I'd say
it
if it was
was.
like Halo, it'd have been like Killjoy. Because he didn't need it. There wasn't he the one who killed all my tactical marines at the time.
He killed pretty much all of your tactics. Yeah, all of them, single-handedly.
That's definitely a killing spree, and then he just shoots
Yeah.
him down. Killjoy. There you go.
Yeah.
Right, so it's Terminators. Which squad?
They are the same like form of like because in case you didn't know, these are tactical dreadnoughts, aren't they? They're like in their
Tactical
their technical
dreadnought
name.
armor.
Yeah, tactical dreadnought armor.
Yeah, that's it. Alright, so I got some close combat ones. This is a like.
I like this guy. He's got like wings.
Yeah, for a shoulder pads, I didn't actually have any shoulder pads left, but I found out that I had some of these wings left from the Death Company set, and I put those on. And it doesn't look too out of place. I actually made him out of another thing of Masons, which he gave to me, and yeah, just give him a new paint job and it looks okay.
They're just generally close combat Terminators.
Initially, this guy was actually the sergeant, but I was like, I want a whole squad of lightning claws now. So,
There's one funny story behind that squad,
What was
and
that?
that's not like them. It's the Termagants.
oh,
the
why?
time the 7 Termagants killed 4 close combat Terminators. That is Warhammer at its pure essence. The dice rolls in the favour.
They're painful. Like,
That was back when the Turvagon could still give Feel No Pain and not have to randomly roll for the power.
Yeah.
So there was Feel No Pain, 7 Feel No Pain Termagants against that entire squad. That guy was the leader at the time.
I think he was.
And he was the only one that survived. 7 Termagants. It doesn't sound like much, but apparently when you get the good dice rolls,
It's just like I rolled nothing but ones, and they all died.
they all died. Then he just ran away for the rest of the
Luckily, he
game.
didn't get the kill point, and I'm happy with that. it's like sure you can kill all my Terminators, but you're not killing.
Deny the kill point. Run!
Just run.
He lived to fight another day and became a captain.
To be fair, I didn't realize why didn't I just
Just turn around and kill them. Yeah,
why didn't
I
I
know.
just deep strike away?
You could have done that. But it didn't matter because you lived, so.
Yeah, he's fine.
Plus, it drew
No
me
matter
out
what you shot at, whatever you shot at him, it didn't work.
Curiosity drew me out of position as well.
Yeah,
That's why you could have killed my Xanthropes. But that's a different story. With
those
the regular Marines.
those regular Terminators, I've not used them very much.
I
since
argue
got
that these
guys.
are now better than just them.
So the regular Terminators are like.
They are the squad just in front of the Baal Predator. Oh, I want to show you this guy. I like his fist.
Oh yeah, I was trying out the hazard lines thing because I think I've seen a lot of people do that, including like Jabal Balls. If you watch him as well, like he does stuff like that, and he goes crazy with kit bashing way more than I do, and I do it a lot. And he knows his stuff. Like I think that's his like prime army after all. So
You also done the Power Sword thing again here.
yeah,
Like
not as
he's
good
not-
though. Nowhere near as good as
It's
I
just
did
like
on
version
Alexander.
1 though.
Actually, I did his first, funny enough. I just couldn't do it again. It's like a thing I did really well, but I just could never, ever do it
I
again.
can't do power swords, so.
Move on to the scouts then.
Scouts, yeah. I don't know if there's anything interesting about those.
Not so much other than the fact that the reason why I bought these guys is because when we first started, I just thought if I just keep buying things, I could try and make up for my amount of models against Brandon, because I didn't understand how Horde army, how there was a difference between Horde armies and elite armies.
Yeah.
Like this is like, for example, this is an elite army, any Space Marine army or whatever.
So you got so few guys as your troops, but
Yeah.
they're really strong. Whereas
Whereas
Tyranids, it's like, I have a squad of 30 Termagants. They'll die. They're just as powerful as the squad of 10 Marines.
the things I can't tell what class they are is Tau and Eldar. I can't tell what they are.
I would say they are. Well, they're kind of in between.
Yeah.
Because
I
they're
don't
like,
know.
they've got the Space Marine mentality of having 10 guys a squad,
Yeah.
but they've got the armor saves of like Imperial Guard. So they're like the in between. They're like the fast kind of shooty guys.
I just
A
don't
bit
know.
like Dark Eldar.
But I'm not really too good with that kind of terminology. But yeah. Anyway, I didn't understand any of that kind of monarchy. I just thought Brandon has a lot of models. Well, I have a lot. Of
We
models,
need to have a bigger army because Brandon has too many.
and I can never catch up.
And I still have too many.
I can never catch up ever. Like, no matter how hard I try.
You're in Swamp.
Even if Brandon was to stop, it'll take me ages
No
to
matter
get
how
there.
horde you try.
Oh god, that's
But
terrible.
that is actually awful.
Real question is how many people turned off the video at that point?
And then these are just some scouts who go in the battle force, which I barely ever use.
That's
That's all I got to say about them.
I did have something to say, but then that terrible joke wiped my memory, so.
Oh.
I'll probably remember it. Right, let's go on to the Rhino.
Well, I know.
The Rhino, there's only a few little things about that. You used to have a hunt. No, that was the Predator that had the hunting missile.
Yeah, no, this had one, this one.
No, it did. I remember,
It has nothing now.
has nothing now.
I just want
Had.
to. For one reason, I wanted to have it cheap and cheerful. Second, it just kept on breaking off anyway. So I just didn't bother. So now we just say he plays on his Game Boy, because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what I said at the last video. You can hear me in the background.
Yeah. I got my other Predator, which actually Mason gave to me without it being.
It was the Ultramarine one.
It was Ultramarines, it had some really nice turf.
Was this one built properly?
It was, yeah, look.
I doubt he built it.
He didn't build it though. No. It was Ultramarines, he never played Ultramarines. It was Black
I
Predator.
forgot to mention that I painted that one originally.
Yeah, I think we did mention that, didn't we?
Well, maybe I was earlier, but yeah, if we didn't, I painted that, but then he got the cool spray, the red spray,
Yeah.
went over it. Looks better, to be honest.
For some reason, this one's like a bit off balance.
I see what you mean, it's like rocking everywhere.
Or
Let's bring that tank a bit
Actually,
closer.
like this one, my first tank I ever built was much worse.
See like the turf here?
I just went over that with some mud. Actually, but that's not even the Citadel creation, like paint or whatever. That I used that from one of Brendan's Airfix models.
Oh yeah, it was a Spitfire.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Some kind of limp tank. Just can't keep it up.
Yeah. At least.
I like the dry brushing here.
At least. Oh yeah, I did do okay on that dry brushing. It's not bad.
Dry brushing isn't too difficult.
Yeah.
It's good looking good. So that's your first Predator tank, wasn't it?
Right. Okay. I didn't do this thing very well, but I loved it anyway. I just like this is like I've always loved Predator tanks because they look more reminiscent to proper tanks. You know, typical like turret on top, and then the
big
actual
barrel.
cannon, the big barrel. I mean, the last cannons don't really seem reminiscent.
Like,
to
if
that.
you was to go with a good Predator, you really should have put the two twin-link last cans on top, because then it would have just gone around hunting other tanks.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's your first tank, you don't really care.
But I think if I was to do it differently, I would actually get 3 Predators, yeah, and then just have them basic. Yeah.
Like, how do you mean basic?
I mean, no side sponsors, just this. It may sound crazy.
Can you do that?
You can do that. And by God, is it cheap? And they're really hard to take down because of the front armor 13, if I remember correctly, yeah. And they got these strength 7 guns on top. And they're like, what? Let me see. I think about 60 points or something? I don't know.
Everything goes price in that codex anyway.
60, 80 points. I think that's good points though, I think, for a tank. Like, let's see. Heavy support, Predator. Yeah, base is 70. 70 points. Like,
Which is...
I think that's
That's
good,
less than 30 termagants.
but I still think
They're
that's
like
really
120.
good. I think that's really good. that was really good in 5th. I'm not sure how it works in favour nowadays. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, look, it just comes equipped with the autocannon and the smoke launchers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just to mention that you wrote your name on the front of the tank.
Oh yeah. Just wrote Lukey on it. I used to call it Preddy as well. And I have a constant problem with this tank. Like, there's a last cannon which always falls off.
That's me, Luke.
Yeah, sure.
I'll show the camera.
Almost at least once a month it breaks off.
Yeah, the side sponsors were terrible. I tried to stick them once. But what happened was, I glued my finger to where the turret was supposed to be. So, like, I was stuck to a Predator tank, and the sponsor was, like, on the floor, and I was like, Luke, help. We should get the ball, because you got a dozer blade from an old Predator.
Oh, yeah, I think that'd be really nice to see.
Like a 3rd edition?
I don't know.
I think it's a 3rd edition.
Maybe, I don't know.
See the dozer blade look? It's got like the... Because that's definitely from the old one.
It's
Yeah.
nothing new. It's like, it's not a new creation. And I still think, despite how it rolled
That's
nothing
not
but
bad.
ones
It's
and
not showing that.
despite how it rolled nothing but 1s and 2s in the battle report, which we had.
You still killed 4 guys with it.
I killed lots of people with that thing. Like,
Then we get onto the main attraction, I'd say.
yeah, he's just been sitting there the whole game.
Teasing.
Yeah, like, just look at this thing. I love it.
Right, there's a funny story behind this one as well. There's just a lot of
I'm
story.
actually personally embarrassed about this. Like,
Right.
okay, so just have a look at this. I'll let you have
So,
a look
like,
for
you're
a
like,
while.
wow.
Look at what's wrong with it.
That looks built really well, you'd initially think, and you'd buy all right. So yes, it is. It's constructed. It's a story piece until you think about, okay, so let's count its weapons. It's got the melters, it's got the assault cannons, it's got the hurricane bolters on either side. But what about the missiles? Okay, let's have
The Bloodstrike missiles.
oh. They're the wrong way. He shoots backwards. I mean, anybody trying to sneak up on you, you're good, but yeah. I think that speaks for itself. You've been painting like little blood chalices on the front.
Yeah, I just like to show off the
wings
little
as well.
insignia. Sorry.
It's in the Jaeger.
Yeah, I don't know what I was going to do. Oh god, no.
Copyright.
I think that's it.
Other animes are available.
Other animes are available. Yeah. So I think that's it. I think that wraps up the army nice and...
Yeah.
So how many points is your entire army?
I reckon it's at least 3,000.
At least, yeah. Because that Storm Raven probably bumps it up quite a bit.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
Well, there's like...
It's about 250 for one.
That's a lot of points, though.
I don't think it's too much to say what it's got. Look at that.
For what it is,
Look at its armory on there. Look at all that stuff on it. And the backwards rockets. Don't forget there's backwards
that's
rockets.
the key to the army.
That-
You should mention the base that you took some rocks from outside
Yeah,
and
I
just
did-
stuck them on.
I went outside. I'm not actually painting. I meant to paint them, but at the minute they're just as they are.
And that's...
Moments like that, I do look very scrubby. But
That's the spirit of Luke's army. It's kind of just whatever. I'll destroy models and make new ones.
yeah, it's a bit, but like sometimes they do come out really nice.
Well, yeah, like-
That's right.
If anything, that's what
Most
it's...
times, more often than not, it turns out really good. Especially this guy. I can't even say how proud I am of
Didn't
this
he
creation.
used to be on one of said rocks?
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
like a really big one, but he kept on falling off.
Yeah, it was like it looks so good, but at the same time was like.
He had his jump pack and he was jumping off of
Yeah,
a
but
rock.
I was like, maybe it would look better if he just simply was just running on the ground.
But yeah, that is the first video of this series.
Thank you for watching.
Long, but you know, informative. And I hope this gives you an insight to how Luke is as one of our members of the collective. Because now you get to understand what he really plays for as in his army. So yeah, we're the collective.
So that was Luke, and
We'll see you next time.
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
It's recording anyway.
Right. Sorry, we just record it and then you cut out.
Yeah, I'll cut out this bit.
Right.
Right, so.
No.
Right, places, people.
Oh, I'm still in the same place as I was before.
Wait.
All that testosterone just built up in him.
Just get on with it.
Right, okay, so, hey guys, I'm Chris from The Collective, and we are starting